Hi everybody, so it's Laura from Laura Cully Hypnotherapy, and this morning I want to talk to you about overcoming some of those limits that we place on ourselves, and kind of 3 ways that we can start to do that. So these limiting beliefs that we have, they very much keep us within what we call our comfort zone. And that sounds like a really nice place to be, doesn't it? The comfort zone. But actually, it can become almost like a cage. It can begin to feel like a bit of a trap. And that can lead to feelings of frustration. That can actually lead to anxiety. And it can even lead to depression. And if we feel that we want to be doing something, but we're keeping ourselves stuck, very quickly you get lots of negative emotions from that. So the first thing that I want you to do, before I go on to my steps, is to think about something that you have achieved that you once thought was impossible. So it could be the job that you have now. It could be the business that you're running. It could be the house that you live in, the car that you drive. It could be the person that you're with. And at one point, you looked at something that you really, really wanted and just thought, no, it's never going to happen. So just have a think about that first of all. And maybe you can comment and let me know, what have you achieved that you once thought was completely impossible? And I want you to think about how it felt when you achieved that. Hi, Kev. So how did it feel when you achieved that thing? And I want you to think about what it was that really drove you. What was it that drove you to push yourself out of your comfort zone, to make plans and to actually make that thing happen? Because you usually find that there's some kind of passion there. And if you can make that strong enough, it can override those feelings of fear and those feelings of anxiety. It's something that you really, really want. So just remember that feeling. And then think about how you did it. So how did you actually get there? So did you kind of go from 0 to 100? And it's almost like standing at the bottom of that staircase, isn't it? And you're standing there and you're looking at what's at the top and you can't quite work out how to get there. But actually, if you look back, you'll probably find that you broke it down into small steps and stages, and you just started at the bottom and you took it step by step until you got to where you wanted to be. Okay, so that's something you can do today. You can spend a bit longer later on doing that, just thinking about something that you achieved that you felt really good about, how it felt, why you wanted it, and how you did it. So my 3 steps today, I want you to think about, first of all, something that you really, really want. What is it that you want to achieve? And the first thing I want you to do is just to make sure that you really do have that passion and that drive. So just take a few moments to imagine what it is that you want and really start to bring it to life. And this is something I do a lot with my hypnosis clients. So imagining being in that place. And do this in hypnosis and become so powerful. Imagine what you can see, what you can hear, as though it is happening right now, as though you've actually achieved it. And just make sure that it is something that you really want, that it's not somebody else's dream for you, but that it's something that you really feel. So think about where you are. Think about who's around you. Think about what your day looks like from the moment you wake up in the morning to the time you go to sleep. What does a working day look like? What does a day off look like? What are you doing with your free time? And really bring it to life so that you really start to feel that passion and that drive, and you can bring that back with you and keep that with you, because that can be an amazingly powerful force. It really can. And then what I want you to do is imagine that there is a timeline. So you can imagine just drifting above your life and see yourself where you are now and see this amazing future, and imagining how far into the future it is. So whether it's 6 months, a year, 5 years, it doesn't matter. Think about when you want to achieve this goal. And then imagine that you can plot the steps that you took. So actually start to look back. So that's the second step, is to actually look at those smaller goals. And you can even start from where you are and work backwards. What did you have to do? Who did you have to talk to? Were there particular qualifications that you needed? Were there courses that you had to take? Are there people that you spoke to that had already achieved what you wanted to achieve, that could give you tips, that could help you? So just start to plan it out. And what I do with quite a few clients is we actually write this out on a piece of paper. So we actually just get a piece of paper and just start to plot those points along the way. And come right back to today and just think, right, what's the one thing that I can do today to start me on that path? What's that one small step that I can take? And it doesn't even need to be anything, really amazing. You can build this up really slowly. It could be just doing a search for a particular course, looking for people that are doing what you want to do, finding those contacts. If you do know somebody, just arranging to have a cup of tea or coffee with them and chat to them. So it could be something really simple, but what can you do today to just start you on that path? What's the very first step? And the third thing that I would say is, please give yourself permission to make mistakes. Nobody is expecting you to go out and do this brilliantly straight away. But sometimes that's what stops us, that fear of, but what if I get it wrong? What if other people see me get it wrong? It can even be a fear of success. What happens if this actually starts to happen? And start to look at what is it that you're afraid of. Break that down, because that might be something that you need to work on. And of course, if you need help building confidence, if you need help overcoming anxiety or that imposter syndrome, then do go and get help. It's something that I work with a lot. So it's very, very common. But yeah, just giving yourself that permission to make mistakes and not feel worried, about judgments. What are other people going to say? All that sort of thing. If you're just getting in your own way, or you're letting other people's opinions get in your way, just letting all that go and just thinking it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And I always say to people, if you think of a baby, think of a toddler learning to walk, and the things that young children do, and that passion that they have, they don't give up. So at no time does a baby just give up trying to walk and think, well, obviously this walking thing's not for me. And the adults around them don't say that either. You'd never turn to a toddler and say, look, do you know what, you were great at crawling. Why don't you just go back to doing that? Because this walking thing is obviously not for you. We just don't do it. And so think about a baby and what they do. They don't care. They'll fall down 100 times a day, but they just keep getting back up and they keep trying. And you did that once. That's something that you did. So find that passion and find that lack of fear, that confidence that you once had. So today, I just want you to think about one thing that you can do to start that process. So what are you going to do today? So find that dream, step number 1, decide what you want. Bring that passion back with you. Number 2, start making those small steps. Number 3, let go of that fear of making mistakes. And then decide today, and let me know, what are you going to do today to get you on that path? Okay guys, thanks very much for listening to me, and I'll be back again probably tomorrow. So have a really good day. Bye.